hungrier every time someone mentions it. Oh! Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't watching where she was going.
Please, there's no need to apologize. If anything, I'm the one who should be sorry. Clearly, I shouldn't have gotten lost in my thoughts in the middle of a hallway.
Wait a sec. Are you staying in the room next to ours?
Ah, quite the perceptive one, I see. First things first, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Kirill Chudamirovich Flins, but please, just call me Flins.
Whoa! That's an impressively long name for sure.
Ah, is that so? Names like mine ought to have been fairly common in Snezhnaya, at least in the past. Would I be correct then to assume that the two of you are travelers in this land?
Yep, you sure would be. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We've been to a bunch of nations already, but we only just arrived in Nod Krai today.
What a rare honor it is to meet such worldly travelers.
Are you here for travel too?
If only I had the time to spare. No, I'm just staying the night.
Oh, so you're here for business?
That's certainly one way to put it. I'm a ratnik of Nod Krai, normally stationed near the burial grounds to the north. My sole cause for being here today was to repair this lantern of mine.
Burial grounds?
Your surprise is entirely understandable. Most people cannot even begin to fathom the idea of a life surrounded by tombstones and decay. But if you've heard of the calamitous abomination that is the Wild Hunt, you'll know that in their wake they bring a host of souls tainted by abyssal filth. That then is why we are stationed by the burial grounds, to hold the line where it is most vulnerable.
Oh, so it's all about fighting against the abyss. Oh, sounds like a tough job.
I thank you for your concern. But in truth, I've long since grown used to it. In fact, I like to think it rather suits me. If anything, I'd say I prefer the peace and quiet of a graveyard to the hustle and bustle of urban life.
Paimon sort of gets it now. But even so, she's still pretty sure she could never get used to living in a graveyard herself. For one thing, she'd be too scared to fall asleep at night.
Oh, I assure you, there's no need to worry on that account. The kind of ghosts you find in cemeteries aren't too big on talking. But even when they do, they're usually far more discreet than the living. Well, would you look at that? Who'd have thought we'd end up chatting this long? Must have a lot in common, huh? Forgive me, but I must excuse myself, for the time of my appointment draws near. And in terms I'm sure you'll understand, a lanternless ratnik is like a mapless traveler. A serious conundrum indeed.
Oh, sure. In that case, you go right ahead. We won't keep you any longer.
Not at all. Should the opportunity present itself, I'd gladly continue our conversation another time. You're always welcome to come visit my grave. I mean, the grave I stand watch over. Your visit would bring much-needed light to that place of final rest.
Right. Well, if we get the chance.
Then allow me to wish you a traditional ratnik's farewell. See you by the graveside.
Ugh. Jeez. What a weirdo. Not to badmouth him at all. In fact, he seemed pretty cultured, but at the same time, kinda spooky? Must be all that time he spent around graveyards. His lantern? No, not really. You mean, 'Cause it was broken? Huh. Guess you've always had a nose for stuff like this. If you're worried, you can always ask him the next time we cross paths. Hey, don't you start spouting all that weird stuff too.
Ether! Huh?
Huh? What are you doing here? Yes, we ran into each other at the flagship this afternoon. I'm honored you still remember. Are you looking for something here? And you just happened to end up surrounded by the Wild Hunt. Sorry, I did not intend to come off as pointing fingers. Indeed, perhaps our courses of action do not differ so greatly. Not exactly. We Lightkeepers are accustomed to patrolling at night. A long-held tradition, you understand. I was just passing by when I noticed that the Wild Hunt had struck. So I simply did what I am duty-bound to do. As a matter of fact, I just saw someone leaving in quite the hurry. Was that your companion? Perhaps I should take my leave now. After all, my patrol isn't over yet. Nod Krai is a dangerous place to be at night. I'd advise that you head back soon as well. I thought I sensed the Wild Hunt nearby. Don't tell me you've already taken care of it.
Hey, it's Flins!
Hey, he's that Ratnik.
Unless I am mistaken, you are the Moonchanter of the Frost Moon Scions, are you not? May I ask, what is that in your hand? Please, don't get me wrong. I've been tracking the Wild Hunt lately, and I've come to suspect that its actions aren't as aimless as they might seem. When I saw what you were holding, I could not help but start connecting the dots.
You better be extra careful, Flint. It seems like the Wild Hunt is capable of impersonating people now.
Oh, is that so? Funny that. I just showed up completely out of the blue, yet you seem to have no problems trusting me. I apologize. I shouldn't be making jokes like that right now. Anyway, I understand. Thank you for the tip-off. It seems that the Wild Hunt has somehow changed in nature. I'll have to report this to HQ right away. For now, let us part ways here. Is someone there? Please, help me!
Isn't that Flint's voice? Did you hear that? But is that really him?
Sí, operizos. Sí, oericos. Yamalune katsisi forampo kalu. Inni obselu siniso. Besendi kestun.
Hand it over. That was mine from the first.
Tutonine torai desnevite.
You're a fool. You again.
What the? It's stronger than before. Lantern, no!
again. This situation speaks for itself, I presume.
So, you were tangling with Rerir out here all by yourself.
So, that vile phantom hiding inside the Wild Hunt has a name of his own.
Yeah, you don't look so good.
Sorry you had to see me like this. All the same, you have my sincere thanks for your aid. To think you had the power to so easily cleanse the filth staining the lantern, which tormented me so. Might I ask what magic that was? Or whose pupil you are? I believe I might have saved some face had I mastered just a fraction of such abilities. And an enviable constitution it is. A pity that such abilities cannot be acquired.
Why did abyssal power just burst out of your lantern anyway?
That is a long story. Many moons ago, when on Wild Hunt clearance duty, I shattered one of its cores only for a special crystalline object to fall out. I sensed a power surging within it that was at once familiar yet strangely illusory. I freely confess to being an avid collector of ancient gems, coins, and other curios, and curiosity it was that had me store this crystal inside my lantern. Afterwards, I wound up collecting a few more such crystals quite by accident, and discovered that they could merge into a single piece without my prompting. Though my understanding ends there. It was only recently that they began slowly emitting abyssal energy, which could neither be dispelled nor weakened.
Is that what Rerir claimed belonged to him? That must be what he's after then!
I concur. And here's the kicker. Before he was exceedingly weak. In fact, I've already beaten him several times, though I could not destroy him completely. But I noticed while engaging him that the crystal fragment would restrict my powers. As such, it occurred to me that I should hide it rather than tangle with him any longer. Alas, he has proved most fixated upon this fragment. And for some reason, his strength has grown by leaps and bounds since I last encountered him. And where, might I ask, would it be safe? Or do you think it wiser I threw it away? Were our places switched, would you discard it, knowing that its perilous might was beyond your ability to counteract, yet capable of causing greater harm should it lie beyond your grasp?
Yeah, throwing it away would mean giving the bad guy what he wants. But exposing yourself to its corrosion and growing weaker by the day, that sounds super dangerous too.
Only those who shoulder risks are qualified to welcome in the turning of the tide. Those who flee when troubles come are nothing more than deserters. Though I shan't deny that I have your fortuitous arrival and most outstanding assistance to thank for my continued ability to speak such platitudes. Either way, it seems this fragment is now utterly still. That must have made it useless to Rerir. I doubt he would have retreated so readily otherwise. I imagine this wasn't the only reason you came looking for me, though?
Well, no, but...
Ah. I see. To use the Lightkeepers to find me, I suspect. I did not inform anyone of my true whereabouts, so he should have had more difficulty tracking me down. They alone have the ability to quickly pinpoint my position. Our Sergeant Major has a Kuvaki-powered device that can be used to detect others who bear a lantern. They usually don't pay my whereabouts much mind unless they absolutely must find me.
You mean this thing?
Yes. Where did you pick this up?
We found it inside a lantern when we first charged into the Wild Hunt anomaly.
It must belong to a ratnik dispatched to investigate the area, who, it seems, dropped everything and fled the moment they saw the Wild Hunt massing to strike. Well, at least they're not dead.
Guess it's not surprising how they found you so fast then. But if Rerir could have shapeshifted into Sosi, why didn't he just use that Kavaki device to find you himself?
Were he to use it, that device would likely fail to act as it should, owing to abyssal interference.
Ah, guess that explains it.
So not only is this Rerir ruthless, but a purveyor of dirty tricks, too. You might not be familiar with Sergeant Major Sosi, but he put his heart and soul into every mission. Our deployments are subject to orders from headquarters, and his orders were to be stationed long-term in Nasha Town. As such, he was very seldom able to go back and visit his family. He worked so hard, seeking to produce excellent results that might convince them to transfer him out.
Oh.
But every year they would say, "Wait a little longer. Wait a little longer." He often wondered if it was because he was lacking somehow. In truth, everyone had nothing but the highest praise for him. But good work does not always lead to good outcomes. The higher-ups would think, he's doing great where he is. Let him stay there forever. A most convenient choice for them, at least. Whereas his subordinates would think, wouldn't it be a shame if we were to lose such a talented, easygoing boss? So he waited. And he waited. Until the world closed its eyes in the depths of the night, and a lantern was slowly lit for him alone, that no one could see. One that has played out many times throughout history. Another reason to take this Rerir's head.
Oh. At least we now know that he's looking for these fragments inside Wild Hunt anomalies.
And yet, what did the Sergeant Major have to do with any of this? Why did he have to die?
Could Rerir be angry that the cannon Sosi set up to fire destroyed the fragments he wanted to collect?
Could you take me to the scene of the crime? We shall just have to exercise some discretion then. Come on. Let us be on our way. I understand the situation more or less. Much has happened, I see. Either way, I suppose we were lucky not to receive a warm welcome on the way over here. It seems my fellow Lightkeepers do not wish to make this case public just yet.
Yeah. Guess Nasha Town's already been enough of a mess lately.
Let's stop here. Any further and the Ratniki might detect us. Since you two can enter, I'll have to request that you kindly pick me up once you're inside.
Oh? And how are we supposed to do that?
You'll know when the time comes. See you later.
Well, we've got the lantern. What now? Oh, Paimon almost screamed out loud. You never said you could do magic like that.
This lantern may have a rather peculiar shape, but so long as it doesn't glow, it won't stand out in the dark. I calculated that you would have already entered, so I chose a spot visible from the window before using light to send you a signal. As I thought, you're both sharp-eyed and on the ball.
of being veteran adventurers, huh?
Your composure is more impressive still. You're right. That required a little trick of my own. But let us leave such trivial topics for a more relaxed moment. Our time is limited after all. Just as I thought. Come, try sensing it yourself. Identical powers must flow from the same source. It was the Wild Hunt, then, that took my form and killed the Sergeant Major. But why do this?
To sow chaos by depriving the Lightkeepers of one of their commanders?
If the Wild Hunt's true form is powerful enough to stand against the world as you claim, I fear not even the full force of Lightkeepers could stand against him, let alone the handful of us stationed in Nasha Town. He would have no reason whatsoever to pick quarrels with individual ants. Let's look again more closely. We must leave no stone unturned. Well, that makes things simpler. In that case, allow me to disturb the fallen. May the ghost flame guide your spirit. May you rest in peace. When we fought, he seemed like quite a reckless foe. Certainly not the meticulous mastermind type. Yet here we are, grappling with this enigma he has left us.
Oh, if we can't get any leads, we might have to go back and find Nefer. Oh, the longer we're stuck here, the likelier he is to achieve his goal. Ugh, this is so frustrating! You mean this?
I'm not well versed in machinery, but that means his mechanical arm is malfunctioning, right? It might have been broken in combat.
No, that's not right. Paimon remembers this signal. We saw it before while repairing the cannon. It doesn't mean that the components are damaged. It just means that they're due for regular maintenance, so the device has stopped operating. But the real problem is that... Yeah, he even helped us find the maintenance port. It could still be a coincidence, but considering it hasn't been long at all since we were repairing that cannon...
The Sosi you met could have been Rerir in disguise. In other words, he played the Sergeant Major before disguising himself as me.
That's right! If only there were some way to prove it.
You mean Hintsa?
We had a short chat with him once at the tavern, but it's so late. Guess it'll have to wait till tomorrow.
I know where he lives. The situation is critical, so let us now take up the role of uninvited guests ourselves. Ah, yes. And one more thing. Remember to pick me up by the window.
Oh, it's you two. And Flins. Given the hour, I guess it must be an emergency.
It is indeed. Our sincerest apologies for interrupting your rest. We are investigating a certain matter in connection with Sergeant Major Sosi. We'd like to know if he has sent you a request for maintenance to be performed on his mechanical arm.
Sosi. Oh, so the rumors I heard, are they true? You know what? Forget it. I'm sure it's complicated. No further questions from me. Just a moment. I need to check my records.
Thank you for your understanding.
Got it. 8 days ago, he came to request a round of regular maintenance. But as it happened, I had run out of the required components. His mechanical arm is especially sophisticated, having been designed by Aino personally. The parts, too, could only be made by her. As such, they usually take several days to arrive. In fact, this time, he even asked me if we could push his request forward. And I understood, completely. Not being able to use your hand, that's rough for anyone. But even more so if your job involves fighting out in the wild. So I did my best to convince Aino to rush the job. And eventually, the parts arrived. 3 days ago, if I remember correctly. I sent word to the Lightkeepers immediately, but he never showed up. I assumed he was just out on some mission or other. What's with those faces? Everything all right?
You've provided us with some very crucial information, Hintsa. You have our thanks. We can't make everything public yet, but once our investigation is complete, I will return to thank you and provide an explanation on behalf of all the Lightkeepers.
No worries. Just glad I could help.
Thanks. Good night.
Good night. Hope the investigation goes well.
It seems that it is as we guessed. The Sergeant Major Sosi you encountered while repairing the cannon was actually Rerir in disguise. 8 days ago, he had yet to act. But at some point after that, he attacked and imprisoned the Sergeant Major. With the immense gap in strength between them, the job was finished in a single blow. And thus Rerir had no opportunity to discover the malfunctioning mechanical arm. Perhaps his mastery of shapeshifting extends only to outward form, and not therefore to complex internal mechanisms. Hence his oversight of the uniquely mechanical traits of the Sergeant Major's arm, and in turn, this flaw in his disguise.
You're saying he thought no one would realize his mechanical arm is actually made of some kind of black muck on the inside, so long as it worked, right? Still seems like there's a lot of guesswork involved here, but it mostly makes sense.
This also has me stumped for the moment. The cannon has always been used to destroy the Wild Hunt, and it works as intended. But how would that help Rerir exactly? Assuming he plans to collect the fragments within Wild Hunt anomalies, firing the cannon works against him, since it would blast those fragments to smithereens.
So we solved one mystery, only to dig up another. Whew. This is getting Paimon kind of down. And sleepy, too.
Yes, I'd say it is high time we took a break. Seems like there's a lot left to investigate. We'll have to fight Rerir eventually. And we'll do a poor job if we're not well rested.
Yeah, we should totally get some sleep first.
A reasonable suggestion. I have no doubt that my quarters have been turned inside out by now, at any rate. My colleagues have never failed to live up to my expectations of their discourtesy.
Well, guess we'll just have to pick you up as usual.
That would be good, yes. Feel free to put the room costs on my tab.
Phew, back inside. We can finally take a breather. Okay, Paimon. In and out.
I suppose we could all take a moment to unwind. As I recall, our first meeting took place not far from here. Ah, the nostalgia. Had you already sensed the unique power within my lantern at that time? I see. Words truly do fail to capture your superlative insight. Fortunate then that abyssal energy was only leaking from the fragment in minuscule amounts when we first met. Or I might have been in for a real interrogation.
Yeah, hard to say how that would have played out. We've had a whole bunch of unpleasant run-ins with the Abyss.
You mean to ask why I'm going this far to oppose him? Well, as a light keeper, I'd say I'm simply doing my job.
Yeah! You're covered in more mysteries than Paimon could shake a skewer at. You can't just get out of explaining yourself by making lame excuses.
All right. I suppose I do owe you some honesty, whether out of gratitude or the need to build trust. Your deductions have been quite correct. Should one wish to conceal oneself within a lantern, elemental power alone is not enough. You know humans well, and naturally you understand their limits. But some things that humans would consider difficult are quite normal in the eyes of non-humans.
So, you mean you're one of the latter?
Have you heard of how Snezhnaya was once the realm of the Fae? This race is no longer of any importance, but they still exist, as evidenced by the fact that I am standing before you.
We've heard some scattered legends, but that's all Paimon thought there was to it.
I once turned my heart toward humanity, and thus did I experience loss. I once labored and did much, and put an end to my tale with my own hands. When you realize you are floating in the middle of a vast ocean, you cannot help but feel that swimming in any direction would be equally meaningless. Would it not be better, then, to simply sink? But before I could sink to truly lightless depths, chance had it that I should be awakened by a band of Ratniki. They were facing a horde of abyssal monsters, and could not last against such a disparity in strength. Yet none fled. Those who dwell in darkness for long enough become exceedingly sensitive to all light. And the first light I saw upon awakening was that which shone from their eyes.
Is that why you chose to help them?
Perhaps I was moved by their valor. Perhaps I simply saw my past self in them, and was moved to action for the first time in a long, long while. But I was freshly awoken, and my powers were limited. I could not prevent casualties altogether. The survivors and I buried the fallen heroes. That was the origin of the final night cemetery. Well, not exactly. I was just more familiar with them. So joining up seemed the most convenient way to experience human life.
Doesn't sound too believable.
Well, I believe it. Besides, I'm well past the age when one might believe in things that must be done. Nonetheless, there are still some things I will not allow to happen. The chaos that Rerir has been stirring up is one of them. Tomorrow I shall go and check our records to see if I can find any connection between the Wild Hunt, Rerir, and the Canon.
Will you need us to get you where you need to be?
Oh, I'll be fine. I keep a backup copy at my residence in case of emergencies.
Can you even go back there right now? Won't there be Ratniki watching it?
Thanks for the reminder. I believe they'll have checked my place, but they won't have stayed. All things are ranked according to their priority, and we lack the manpower for such an open-ended stakeout. And even if someone is waiting, I have ways around that. I am the master of my own house, after all.
All right then, we'll trust you. We sure ended up chatting for a while, huh? I'm super tired now. But, you know, feels like we can breathe easier now that we know you better.
I didn't take you for the cautious sort. Anyway, I hope you'll help me keep this a secret. I'd prefer others not to know about my past unless strictly necessary. Nor do I want to attract more trouble on account of being a fae.
Paimon's lips are sealed too.
All right. Thanks again for your help. Good night, you two.
Finally, we can rest. Let's go get some sleep. There's tons to do tomorrow.
It's getting late. The situation is urgent, but rest is vital. Good night, both of you. This way. Let's move. We're running out of time.
Okay, let's split up and make this happen. Or not. How are we supposed to read through this many files?
Difficult, yes, but it is also our most efficient option. To expose the true intentions of this Rerir, we need to dive into Nod Krai's history.
Hope we don't land on our heads then. Ghost! That file suddenly moved by itself. This is a graveyard, right, Flins? Do these things just kind of happen?
Many strange things happen here, but this is not one of them.
But that file really did move by itself. Hey, come out! Don't scare Paimon like that!
Wild Hunt Phenomenologue?
Hey! Another file's moving!
Are we being given hints? I feel no hostility. On the contrary, it seems we're being aided somehow.
Really? Hey! Seriously, another one? Okay then. Paimon will read this one. Phew! Finally finished. Oh, Paimon sure could use a long break from long words now. Hope she can remember it all.
The material I've read through has all been about past Wild Hunt incidents of enormous scale. What about you?
Paimon as well. Guess that makes 3 of us.
Whatever this is, it seems to want us to notice something. Let's bring our files together and give them another look through.
All right. Paimon will go fetch hers. All these incidents look pretty different.
Wait. I've noticed something. Before the occurrence of these huge Wild Hunt events, a smaller scale one would erupt in the exact same location. And look. All these smaller scale Wild Hunt site reports share a common outcome.
They'd be detected, but would go inactive before any forces could be sent to deal with them. They could then be sealed directly using a tide seal stone. But why?
Some of these records are too old. I doubt he had regained the ability to act freely yet, or we would have met long ago.
And here's another similarity. Kuvaki and nearby soil completely drained. Could this be important somehow?
Kuvaki and the Wild Hunt are mutually opposed forces. We Lightkeepers previously believed that these small Wild Hunt sites would temporarily go inactive due to being neutralized by the Kuvaki present in the soil. But now that we've synthesized all this data, there is a key issue this hypothesis cannot explain. Indeed, despite the name, I would not call a Tideseal Stone's sealing powers watertight exactly. But for it to fail and the situation to deteriorate in such short order.
Paimon feels like she's almost got it.
Yes, that might be it. It could be that when Kuvaki and abyssal energies meet, the stronger side will suppress the weaker one. And while Kuvaki can indeed destroy small-scale Wild Hunt anomalies, should Rerir be strong enough, the Kuvaki might be his for the taking instead.
Paimon kinda gets where we're going with this.
What are you referring to?
Oh, we had a real close encounter with the Abyss in Netland. It's a force that tries to taint everything. It's hard to explain in detail, but basically, your reasoning makes sense.
Was there a gap between him pretending to be Sergeant Major Sosi and the cannon being fired?
There was. Aino needed to make some adjustments after we finished those repairs. Rerir, disguised as Sosi, left at that point, leaving him more than enough time to shapeshift into you, return to the Lightkeeper's office and set up the crime scene, before heading over to the cannon's target area and absorbing the Kuvaki.
It all makes sense. And all that just for the fragment I had with me. It begs the question, what makes it so special that he needs it so badly? That's odd. We shouldn't have any guests. I'll go take a look. Ah, it's an ibis.
It's carrying a letter! Ooh, Lauma must have sent it. She can speak to little animals. Let's see here.
Situation urgent. The cannon began operating shortly after we left Nasha Town and is preparing to fire. It is locked on to Star Sand Shoal. Please return to Nasha Town and assist with all haste. Lauma.
That's gotta be Rerir's doing. But why is he using the cannon again? Didn't he already fire it once before?
No time for speculation. He's already made his preparations. If you recall, his body was incomplete when we last met. If this bombardment continues to increase his strength, he might regain his complete form.
What should we do? There's no way we're getting back to Nasha Town in time.
Let's go to the cannon's target site. That's where we should find Rerir, and that's where we'll stop him. One moment. Just let me get this news to Lauma. Nasha Town is in their hands now.
Go! Fly! Not a moment to lose!
You're here, as expected.
Humans, you never change. Always trying to use powers you neither comprehend nor control. But it is also thanks to you that I found a way to return.
You've messed with the cannon again, huh? Sorry, but this round's not gonna go your way.
Such faith in your companions. But will the inhabitants of Nasha Town understand why they wish to stop the cannon? When all they see is the Wild Hunt surging up everywhere they look, the cannon must seem like their only lifeline. This is the truth I have revealed to them. They did this all of their own volition. The zealous worship of power leads only to annihilation of equally zealous proportions. True power does not heed the commands of the weak.
You were waiting for us to leave Nasha Town then.
Of course. I imagine the one you call Aino would have managed to stop the cannon otherwise. Shame, then, that you proved one step too slow. In their folly, the townspeople will bar the path of all who seek to stop the cannon. And your kind-hearted, weak companions have not the stomach to deal with them. The cannon will not be stopped now.
Well, sir, you look most pleased with yourself. In that case, before you put us out of our misery, I would like to ask you a question, if I may. See this fragment? It once haunted your dreams, but now it seems useless to you.
That is my corpse.
Sorry, what?
My body was once torn into countless pieces and hurled into the swirling chaos of time itself. But even so, my life and will were not extinguished. Every last fragment calls to me. Sooner or later, they shall welcome my return.
What are you even saying?
Huh. So the terror of the Wild Hunt was in fact caused by scattered pieces of your corpse. I guess they don't call you one of the 5 sinners for nothing.
Serendipity guided the fragments to construct an incomplete version of myself, upon which I began collecting more within Wild Hunt sites across the land. But each time, the fragments I obtained were hardly worth mentioning, while that which you hold in your hand was my heart.
So that's why it responded so strongly to you.
Only by retrieving this most critical piece could I gain mastery over the turbulent Kuvaki energies and be fully reborn.
Hence, you fired that first shot, hoping to regain enough power to seize the fragment from me.
Are you completely crazy? Weren't you afraid of dying?
Dying? Such power has no hope of killing me. It may destroy my form over and over, yet always I rebuild it. It may smash my flesh and crush my bones thousands of times and more, but that is of no consequence to me. What truly infuriates me, however, is how you've destroyed my heart. All that suffering, everything I endured, and all for nothing. I've adapted to the strength and flow of this Kuvaki. The next cannon shot will multiply my strength immeasurably. It will not be a full restoration, no. But it will be more than enough to destroy any in this world who stand in my way. Still, I suspect the Kuvaki will have rendered you down to nutrients for my consumption well before you have the time to kneel before me.
Traveler! Behind you! Look at that light!
We are out of time.
All your efforts have been futile. It is too late now.
Perhaps you're right. Why aren't you running?
Sigisato passa sax, intimi potuftos. In necritus necrus baptusi, canis ondes tu zonos pentusi. Osesticos palatin pirantur resurcu, topir aetion veratum.
that's not good.
Sluggish. Torpid. This body is a disappointment. I can barely muster 10% of my original strength. You've ruined everything again.
Let me guess. You didn't get a human body back, did you?
What's with him?
Verfnir. Rheindaughter. Flins.
Watch out! Whatever rationality he still had when he was searching for his body is gone. All that's left is the calamity you see before you. A monster fueled by nothing but his own obsession.
Matters not. Having a heart. Being human. It's all irrelevant. Completely and utterly insignificant. You matter not. Does anything in this world. None of it matters to me! Fools. Time to die! You too have the potential to be driven mad by knowledge. But the truths you seek are so insipid. How laughable that you should die for their sake!
You're not the only one who got stronger. No, wait! This isn't over!
It seems this young lady aided in our escape. You have my sincere gratitude, dear madam. The flowers here bloom in such peaceful silence. I imagine you would not have invited anyone here were it not an emergency. Oh? I take it that means you've been here before then. In that case, I count myself fortunate to be your associate.
Bina, I tolerated your nonsense previously because we were colleagues.
Brought your associate along for the ride too. But that was as much as I could do.
You're not afraid to speak your mind, miss. I like that. Please, call me Flins. It is my honor to make the acquaintance of one such as yourself.
Still, what do we do now? Rerir's gotten stronger again. At this point, it doesn't seem like we can beat him.
We did block most of the Kuvaki, so I'd say we've put a lid on his plans for now at least, but we still don't know what his aims are. And he may continue gathering power. So we must be very careful.
After you left, I could no longer sense his presence.
That means it's safe out there for now, right?
A question, if I may, kind Miss Columbina. When the cannon's Kuvaki beam was deflected earlier, I saw several bolts of energy streak toward Hisi Island, only to be blocked. Did you also have a hand in that?
No.
I see. Curious.
Oh yeah, the cannon veered off course in the end, didn't it? Paimon wonders how Aino and the others are doing. Let's head back and check on them.
In that case, Miss Columbina, I shall not disturb your serenity any longer. Thank you once again for coming to the rescue.
But the Rerir of Solnari has now gained a complete form. while we still know nothing about his goals.
Oh, my cannon, my pride and joy was a hindrance rather than a help.
Flins, we'll need you to attend to the aftermath with the Lightkeepers. Don't worry, I've explained everything to them. You're in the clear.
My thanks. For that and for everything else I hear you did to help us arrive at the truth.
Had you been willing to show yourself in public more often, you would not have been so easy to isolate, you know.
Point taken. I will give that some thought. I suppose that's one way I'd benefit from replacing Sergeant Major Sosi.
You mean you're being promoted? Was Paimon the only one who didn't get that?
Well, if you've got a moment, would you like to come with me? There's a certain gentleman I'd like to send off on his final journey. This man was like a lighthouse. Here he lived as if it were a mere matter of course, and brought light and grace to those around him. But people, once used to illumination, are apt to ignore the lantern's presence. Slowly, gradually, he came to think as such himself. I have achieved too little. I must do better. There is more work to be done. Perhaps his end was tragic. But I remain proud of the way in which he illuminated the path for others. Every shadow born of the light shall remember it.
Oh, poor guy.
I've heard that one too. Is that so? Well, you're right. It may seem that our efforts were in vain, that Rerir achieved his goals. But we will pursue him to the last, even if the outcome is not what we wish for. It is not dissimilar to the role of a graveyard keeper. We do not seek to bring the dead back to life, only to grant them peace.
Oh, what are you two talking about? Care to explain? Okay.
Either way, the Lantern Fae is not playing the leading role in these final rites. Lightbearer, with your blood you have paved the road to glory and justice. Even as we hurry on, bruised and battered though we may be, stay a while and look back upon the world and all its love and hatred until it closes its eyes in the depths of night and a lantern lit for you alone flickers softly into life. Thank you for everything, Sergeant Major Sosi.
Flins? Don't see you coming around here often. Just feel free to take a look. I'm busy right now.
Well, I've come to visit you, Miss Aino. Here, I've brought some snacks from town in their traditional butter flavor. So, where should I leave them?
Shh, Ineffa might hear you. So, what's the occasion? Are you gonna say that the Rat Ninki will be taking over all Wild Hunt incidents after that hiccup with the cannon?
And criticize a genius like yourself on account of results that none of us could anticipate? We would not be that crass. If we really did do that, I dare say we shall never again see technological breakthroughs.
Sweet talker.
It gladdens me to have set your heart at ease.
Anyway, what's the matter exactly?
Well, could you help me repair this lantern? I did bring it to Nasha Town to get it fixed, but it broke again during our previous battle.
You want a genius like me to go fix a lantern?
Oh, my apologies. Perhaps this request should be better directed to Miss Inefa, and perhaps the snacks, too.
What? I mean, I can totally do this, no problem. Wait right there. I'll be done before you can say fix it.
Much obliged, then.
And next time this happens to you, make sure to come to me first, you hear?
Ah, fancy meeting you here. I've decided my lantern has earned itself some thorough maintenance after that rather intense battle. Thank you for keeping my secrets, despite knowing as much as you do. Well, because otherwise I'd get in trouble with the Starshiner. If they couldn't detect my own lantern, I suspect the higher-ups would foist a standard-issue Ratnik lantern on me. A Ratnik carrying 2 lanterns. Imagine that. It would be an aesthetic transgression of the highest order.